Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good evening, everyone. Respectfully, our Honorable Lecturer of Process Equipment 1 and all of our friends. Today, we will present our major project. Before we start, let us introduce ourselves so you know who we are. We are from Group 4 Chemical Engineering Department Institute Technology Sumatera. I am Sarah Syanturi, and I will be presenting together with my teammates, Stephanie Olivia Siagian, Sarojati Maharani, Tim and Apansa Hartiani Studio. Thank you for giving us the opportunity to present our project through this video. In this presentation, we will explain our project entitled Production of Ethylene Oxide from Ethanol with a capacity of 85,000 tons per year. We hope you find this presentation informative and easy to understand. We hope you enjoy our presentation. Let's get started.
Okay, before we are going to the process in detail, let's briefly introduce the main substance info. What is ethylene oxide and ethanol? Ethanol is colorless and volatile liquid at ambient condition, with a boiling point of about 78 degrees Celsius and a density approximately 0.79 grams per cubic centimeter at room temperature. It's completely miscible with water and highly flammable, requiring proper safety measures during handling and storage. Ethylene oxide is colorless gas at room temperature with a low boiling point of around 10.7 degrees Celsius, allowing it to be easily liquefied. It is toxic, highly flammable, and capable of forming explosive mixture. So strict safety control is essential in industrial use. Next. Ethylene oxide is widely used in a daily life as a raw material for ethylene glycol, surfactant, detergent, plastic, textile, and for medical sterilization. Industrial production of ethylene oxide is mainly carried out through the catalytic oxidation of ethylene using oxygen or air. Ethylene oxide can also be produced from ethanol via a two-step route: dehydration of ethanol from ethylene, followed by catalytic oxidation to ethylene oxide. Producing ethylene oxide from ethanol offer advantage such as the use of renewable feedstocks, more stable local availability, and increased value addition. Next.
Okay, this slide shows the ethanol dehydration reaction to produce ethylene. In this process, ethanol is converted into ethylene and water using a solid acid catalyst. The reaction is endothermic, so heat is supplied in the form of steam. This process has very high performance with almost complete ethanol conversion at ethylene selectivity close to 100%. Therefore, ethanol dehydration is an efficient and promising method for producing ethylene. This slide explains the ethanol dehydration process in more detail. In this reaction, ethanol is converted into ethylene and water in the gas phase. Since the reaction is endothermic, continuous heat input is needed to keep the reaction running. The process operates at a temperature of about 200 degrees Celsius at an atmospheric pressure. A fixed-bed multi-tubular reactor is used to provide good heat transfer and maintain stable temperature condition. The reaction uses a solid acid catalyst which improves ethanol dehydration and gives high selectivity toward ethylene.
Well, next is chapter 3, which is a table containing the name of tools with an explanation of the basis of material specification and quality. Equipment number R101, equipment name fixed bed multibulator reactor, basic specification, power and material carbon steel SA 218-3 grade C. Next. The following is a design drawing of a fixed bed multibulator reactor. with specification inside diameter 2.067 inch, outside diameter 2.38 inside diameter, tube thickness 0.12 inch, tall 0.28 meters, height of reactor 12 meters, and peak height 1 inch. Next. The reactor component expansion, one tube side, contains catalyst particle and serves as the reaction zone. Two cell side, carries steam as heating medium. Three, inlet nozzle, introduce ethanol vapor into the tubes. Four, outlet nozzle, remove product gas containing ethylene and water. And the last tube bundle, provide large heat transfer surface for efficient temperature control. The reactor consists of multiple parallel tubes filled with solid acid catalyst, while the reactant gas flow axially through the tube. The dehydration of ethanol occurs in the gas phase under controller temperature and pressure condition. Heat is supplied indirectly using steam on the shell side to support the endothermic reaction. The multibulator design minimizes temperature gradients and prevents catalyst deactivation. Reactor demonstrates key process equipment concepts such as packet bed flow, heat transfer, reaction kinetic, and thermal control. We will explain this tool section future in the chapter 4. Maybe to chapter 4.
Okay, let me walk you through this process flow diagram or PFD step by step as if we are presenting it. The first, before we go into the process sequence, I'll explain how to read the lines and symbol. In this diagram, the black lines represent the main process flow, meaning the path of the material from raw feed into intermediate stream, and finally to the product. Then we have utility lines with different colors. The first, the red lines, represent steam, which is used as the heating medium. And the two, the light blue lines, represent cooling water, which is used for cooling gases such as in condenser or cooler. And the last, the green lines, represent downterm or heat transfer oil, used for heating or cooling within a specific temperature range. Okay, for the symbol, the circle indicates the stream number, the diamond symbol indicates pressure, and the rectangle indicates temperature. We also have several valve symbols. A control valve, which is an instrument control valve used to regulate flow or pressure, and check valve, which is a one-way valve installed after the pump to prevent reverse flow. In addition, the dash line represents an electrical signal line. Now, for equipment identification, the text mean okay, sorry. For the equipment identification, the text mean T for tank, FP for vaporizer, R for reactor, CD for condenser, HE for heat exchanger, ABS for absorber, MD for distillation column, RB for reboiler, AC or ACC for accumulator or reflux drum, and the last AV for expansion valve. Now let's move to the process flow. Starting from the left side of the diagram, the process begins at code T01, which is the raw material storage tank. From the tank outlet, the stream passes through an installation valve and instrument point, and then it goes to a transfer pump. This pump is the This pump's function is to push the feed forward and provide enough pressure to reach the next unit. Right after the pump, we can see a check valve and another isolation valve on the discharge line. These are important to prevent backflow and to support safe operation and maintenance. The next, the feed enter code FP01, which is the vaporizer or preheating heat exchanger. Here we can see the stream utility connection shown by the red line, including valve on the steam inlet. The purpose of vaporizer is to raise the feed temperature and help create a vapor phase, or at least stabilize the condition before the feed enter the reactor. From vaporizer, the stream is directed toward the reactor section, and along the line, we can see several valves and instrument points for control and safety. There is also a BL01, which is a blower unit or an auxiliary device used to help maintain the required flow rate or pressure for gas or fluids going to the next unit. After that, the stream enter, which is the reactor, as a vertical vessel. This is where the main reactor takes place because the reaction is sensitive to temperature and pressure. The reactor is equipped with instrument point and connect. From the code CD10, the stream goes to ABS01, which is the absorber. In this absorber, an initial separation takes place. Typically, curtain components are absorbed into the liquid phase, or like components are separate from the heavier liquid fraction. Around the absorber, there are inlet and outlet valves and instrument point to ensure the unit operate. From the absorber area, the mainstream continue to distillation column that separates component based on volatility. At the bottom of this column, we have the reboiler, which is a heat exchanger that provides bottom heating. The reboiler receives heating utility steam shown in red tube valve, and it generates boil up vapor, the rise in the column, and support the separation process. At the top of distillation column, the overheat vapor flows to overheat condenser, where it is cooled by cooling water. The condensed liquid is then collection in the accumulator or reflux drum. This drum typically has level control and a fan or pressure protection connection. From accumulator or reflux drum, the liquid is pumped by the reflux or product pump. After the pump, the stream is split into two. The one part is returned to the top of the distillation column as reflux, usually controlled by a control valve to regulate the reflux rate, while the other part leaves the system as the distillate or overheat products. This product stream then pass through a product cooler or heat exchanger to reduce the temperature to a safe storage condition. And finally, it enters the product storage tank, which is equipped with level instrumentation and a fan valve or valve line at the top. Beside the main line, there is also an additional processing train shown in the lower left section of the diagram. From the source box UPL, the stream passes through valve and instrument point and then enters heat exchanger used for temperature adjustment. After heat exchanger, the stream is pushed by another transfer pump toward second distillation column used for additional purification or recovery. At this second distillation column is connects to reboiler for bottom heating again, supplied through utility lines and valve. The overheat vapor from condensate in the condensate is collected in the accumulator. From this accumulator, the liquid is typically pumped back as reflux to second distillate column and or partially routed out as a product or recycle stream with isolation valve and instrument point along the way. On the right side of the MD section, we can also see heat exchanger connect to the expansion valve. This arrangement is generally used to reduce pressure and adjust the temperature pressure condition before sending the flow back to another part of the process as recycle or forward to the next stage depending on operation requirements. And with that, the next part of the explanation will be continued by my team as Apansa Hartini City.
Summary: the process integrates liquid vapor phase case, heat transfer operation, catalytic gas phase reactant, and inspiration process. Each unit operation requires core topics in the process equipment course include heat exchanger design, feedback reactor operation, distillation column performance, material and energy balance, and process safety condition. The ethylene product from ethanol distillation acting as K intermediate that can be this downstream process particularly the oxidation of ethylene to ethylene oxidase, linking this process of further chemical reactor and equipment design a student. Evaluation the ethanol to ethylene process operation efficiently with heat conversion demonstrating the suite tables of control temperature, pressure, and catalytic selection, proper integration of process equipment, and course efficient heat management for the endothermic reactor and efficiency separation of product and understand component. This project was fully applies core chemical engineering pieces and reinforce the learning objective of the process equipment course for a real industrial case study.
Okay, that's the end of our presentations. We want to say a big thank you for our lecturer of process equipment for giving us the chance to share our project. Also, thanks to all our friends for watching and supporting us. We hope our explanation was clear and easy to understand, and that you learned something useful about the production of ethylene oxide from ethanol. Thanks again for your attention, and we hope you have a great day. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. See you guys.